Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Short time no see. I saw you yesterday. Hello, welcome. How are you all doing? Can you hear me and see me well? I hope you can. I'm kind of on time. Can you believe it? Can somebody please celebrate? Wait, can I celebrate? Thank you. um, but yes, hello. Um, I am kind of waiting to see if you can see me and hear me before I jump into, talking about anything important. So please let me know if I'm online and if you can hear me and see me well. Um, let's try if the light works. Ooh, this is much better, but my eyes. This is not working for me. I'm sorry, guys. So we'll have to deal with this. My dark eyes, it matches the vibe. Um, but yes, I am here ready. I have my tea here, so I can drink my tea to calm myself down. And yeah, I'm all ready. Hear you and see you, Bunny. No, we're not doing this, Jess. No, but thank you for confirmation. So yes, welcome to the live discussion of Bunny by Mona Awad. Um, This is a dark academia horror book, psychological thriller, horror. Um, Set in a university. We follow main character Samantha Heather Mackey, who is studying writing and or like trying to be an author. And there is this interesting group of, well, I don't know if interesting, but like creepy group of girls. They call themselves Bunny. They call each other Bunny, and creepy things are happening. And then one day Samantha gets an invitation to hang out with them, and things go, well, places from there. So yeah, this is what we're gonna be discussing today. It has nothing to do with climate, so this is just because many of us wanted to read it. Um, Perfect October book, though, just have to say. But I mean, I knew it going in, but just saying. But yeah, before we jump into opinions, let me know how you're doing. If you finished the book, what is your overall feel? Um, and yeah, just let me know some, like, first maybe like something that you want to point out or discuss. Let me know. Hello, how is everyone doing? Good. How are you today, Denise? I don't remember enough probably to participate. I'm just here to see if anyone knows what a fudge was going on. Yep. I honestly, I'm here for the same reason. I do remember what happened because I finished it just 2 days ago, but I also don't fully understand what the heck. So this will be interesting. Hello, Alex. Welcome. Ooh, I have some wild interpretations. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for you to share. I'll take any. All I remember is me thinking this makes no sense. Yeah, the same. Same, Jess. Ooh, I'm excited. Hello, Natalie. Wonder if you have the same ideas, Alex. Maybe not. Can hear me and see me. How much did you hate it? On a scale from 1 to 10, how much I hated it? About a 5, I think. I feel like more, but with the clear conscience, I cannot give it more on the hate scale. So 5. Um, Good, y'all said in the chat because mine hadn't started again. Oh, okay. Yeah, so then it's always good to check in the chat. This is definitely a great book for a buddy read. I think so, yes. Or book club, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a book club more than a buddy read, but same result overall. Finished it last night and can't stop thinking about it. Really, I kind of forgot I read it already, and I can't believe how misled I was. You know, um, I can't believe it because I was promised a great book, a creepy book, and it was horrible. After 14, chapter 14, like I could barely finish chapter 14. I had to wait until the next day um, to continue with chapter 14. Like it was no joke. But after that, it felt a little bit like it took away foot from the pedal, from the gas pedal, and that I did not expect. I expected, like, okay, chapter 14, and this is the setup, and things are gonna start happening, but nothing happened afterwards. So I don't know. I already, I'm just like, whatever. I don't know if there's even meant to be a single interpretation. Probably not. Yeah, I would imagine it's going to be pretty like wide, and everybody's supposed to understand it different ways. I'm doing good, freshly showered and tea ready. That's good. I don't know what you think, honestly. I'll keep thinking about it, and it was very different. For that, I loved it, but it's a mix of genius and insanity. Yes, definitely. I did see the genius part until maybe like halfway through, and then it just turned into like, what is this? Like, I expected so much more from it, especially the ending. I felt was very underwhelming, considering I don't know. I don't know. We'll get into it, but like I expected so much more from it and to be much more terrified. Um, Honestly, I would have definitely finished during the weekend as I wanted to if I knew that the chapter 14 was the worst part. But then he told me that the ending is the worst part, and I'm like, what happened? Like there is nothing. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I do remember I didn't find it creepy enough for the two creepy scenes, thinking this makes no sense, and then being angry at the end because I still don't know. Yeah. Wow, I thought you'd hate it more. Yeah, I know. But like, I don't know how to explain it, but I did hate some parts of it, and honestly, I cannot believe nobody told me this. Okay, this is spoiler, so let's not do that yet. I'll talk about it later. But there is a trigger warning to it. I mean, obviously it's a horror, so I did not look up trigger warning going in, so that's fine. But like I have one trigger warning that I actually can feel when I read, not like my anxiety is acting out, because that can happen at any time at any book like that. That's whatever, that I don't assign a trigger warning. But what I assign trigger warning to for me is, well, there's one thing that if I read about it, I can feel my heart beating faster and I'm breathing faster and shallower, like a proper response. And I noticed that in one other book I was reading previously. And since then I was like, okay, well, that's a trigger warning for me. It's definitely something I should work on, but it definitely makes sense. And then it was also here quite a bit of amount, or bit amount of it, and I didn't see that coming, so that made me very uncomfortable, and that's why I feel like I could not really appreciate the full extent of it for some reason, even though obviously that's point of the story or part of the story. But it's just took a lot of the enjoyment out of it, because I was kind of like, I hate it so much for that reason. So yeah, but I also did love some of the creepy parts. So it's very complicated how I feel about this book, because as I said from the beginning until chapter 14, if we take away how bizarre it was and how much I hated chapter 14 for what, like, that's stuff of nightmares for me. Like, I don't say that often, I don't think that often, but that is a nightmare shit. So that was awful. But by then I was like, well, this could be like a 4 star. Like, this was awesome. After that, I'm like, that's where the book should have ended, you know? Or lean into it, which didn't happen. At least I didn't see it. I don't know. It was weird. I expected a lot more from it. I was like, what is going on? A lot of the time, yes, definitely. Mostly because I loved it. I'm glad you loved it. Well, 5 hate scale is still pretty high. Yeah, I mean, yes, it is. It is high, but because of the things I just mentioned. So. Hello, Larissa. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome. I shall take this moment to remind everyone I was an English major and I love interpreting shit like this. Wow, it's genuinely fun for me. Yeah, I know. And so that's why I was like, I'm so excited that you're reading it. So maybe you'll be able to explain to us some of the things. And I'm beyond like grateful that you are in this book club or in this space with us. Wait, I need to change position because I already can feel my back and we haven't even started. It feels like, so I need to adjust position. I'm sorry about this. There we go. Sorry for wasting your time. And now I bring my tea back. Okay, perfect. There we go. So I'm really excited that you are here and then maybe you'll be able to bring some clarity into this situation because this shit was weird. Fair enough. Yeah. I just want to know if I was right or not. Honestly, I think there's gonna be multiple explanations and like people will be able to think different things. The party was at the ending, right? Without spoilers. Well, you'll have to be more specific. Which party? Or there was a party? There was many parties. Workshop? Do you mean? All I knew about it was they called each other Bunny. It's weird in a way that lost some people, and it's mostly a love it or hate it book. Yes, definitely. It is for sure weird in a way that it would lose people, and that's the thing. That's why I loved it, because this is exactly the kind of weird that would lose me too. But this one gripped me for some reason. There was something in it that totally gripped me. The first 14 chapters, I was like, I don't understand what's happening. I'm scared of what's coming, but I love it. Um, so at that point, the hate was maybe only 3, but I did enjoy it and I did appreciate it for what it was. Like, it's just not what I like. I don't know. It's so complicated. There were several parties, exactly. It's so hard to do this without spoilers. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go until the end of until there that comment, the last one that I see, and then we'll put spoilers and we can dive in. I like the ending too. I didn't expect to be terrified, but to be left guessing and wondering and not knowing what really happened, and it did exactly that. Really, I did hope I would get some explanation of what the heck, but I know you like open endings. Yeah, I do feel Bunny would have benefited from a smaller format, potentially, yeah. Yeah, the more specific would be the spoiler. Also had a concentration in creative writing. So a lot of the stuff Ursula said in workshop was funny as hell to me. Okay, really? I kept thinking of Denise whenever an Alice reference metaphor came up. Yeah, the same. The same. Like, this is such a, like, I wonder how Denise felt about this. But yeah, so let's go into spoilers. So if you are here and do not want to get spoiled for Bunny, or if you just, I don't know, if you want to read it, or for whatever reason you don't want to hear spoilers for Bunny, this is the time to go. You can come back when you have read it and are ready for spoilers and hearing other people's opinions. But we are going into spoilers. So, yeah, we have it down here. So, everybody, if anybody just pops in, they know we are now talking about spoilers. And I think we are ready to start because I hope everybody who doesn't want to be here for the spoilers has had time to click off and leave so you don't get spoiled. So, spoilers. Let's go. What party? Which party are you talking about, Denise? There are so many of them. Um, but yeah, and I don't even know where to start with this book because I just remember the chapter 14, and then I remember some weird thing after that that I did not really understand. And then I remember Max was his name. I don't understand what role he played in everything. Like that seemed like that was not explained at all. I mean, if it was, I missed it. I don't know. It was like, what's going on? Please, somebody explain. Okay, so the party where they kill the boys is at the end, right? Well, that's all the way through the book. The first one is like in chapter 14, right? Or do you mean where they kill Max? That's in the end, but that's not the party. So what boys? They just kill them throughout at every workshop. Or I don't know if kill them, but they kind of try to turn them into bunnies into their creations, and some of them die. I don't understand really. Wait a minute. We'll get there. I was ready and immediately hit enter when you said spoilers. Oh gosh. My wildest theory is that Warren isn't a university, it's some sort of inpatient old school mental institution. Seriously, I don't think anyone was killed at all, including bunnies. A metaphorical killing of their trauma, demons, past, etc. What were the signs of that? Like, I don't think that's impossible, but I did not see any signs of it. I did think that a lot of it could have been made up only in Samantha's head. And there were lots of I, situations where she was talking about how she doesn't fit in with everybody else and how she's so different and things like that. So I did sense something as well, but I wouldn't go as far as say like the entire university doesn't even exist. I would just say that she's struggling with I don't know. It's interesting. Um, but he got decapitated once, right? I thought that was at the end, so I was like, maybe. One guy, his head exploded. If that's what you mean, that was in the beginning. That was in the beginning. Well, chapter what, 13 or 14, when the boy's head exploded. But otherwise, they didn't decapitate like graphically anybody. So I'm not sure. Workshop is group therapy. Could be. Interesting guess. Jess didn't think of that, but I could see an option where literally everything was in Samantha's imagination. Yeah, definitely. That felt quite like not obvious, but that I did think of it many times. Yeah, they did make it seem like a dream immediately after, and that is kind of what I hated. Yeah, yeah, that she was on drugs. Yeah, that they gave her drugs to deal with it, and since then, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I did not like that either when we turned into drugs. And maybe that's where exactly my trigger comes because my trigger is drugs, whether it's recreative or any kind of drugs. I I I I have some kind of trauma from that. I have no idea why or why. I never took any, so I don't know. But that's my trigger. And yeah, since they started giving her drugs, I kind of started not zoning out, but kind of like started to create a distance, because I was feeling that was not gonna be good for me. So I don't know, maybe that affected my part of it. But yeah, I don't know. When she goes back to her Stark apartment, it's her coming back to the reality of her room. Huh. But do you really think so? Like, I understand that, and I do see why you would think that, or like why you would have that um theory, for sure. But were there any like concrete things that would solidify this in some way? I'm not saying that it would be mentioned that, oh, it's just, in her head, but like some specific things. Because I would tend to agree, but at the same time I feel like it's quite a stretch because it's never actually explained. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain. To be fair, someone imagining this in a mental hospital is the only logical explanation. I had that thought too, but I don't like books that do that. It was all fake thing. Yeah, me neither. I don't like that either. It was all fake. It was all just in your head. Ava and Max are aspects of herself, who she fears she is, who she wants to be. Ah. That's what you meant. Like that's what when she said that she created Max, and then Max is going to ruin Ava. Interesting. Yes, the exploding head. Yes, sorry, I thought I was at the end. No, that was chapter 13, 14. I think it was 14. Um, or somewhere there. Yeah, 13, 14. So that's what you thought, that was like the most horror part is in the end, but it was not. It was actually chapter 14. So that's why. Okay. Even if it's all in Samantha's head, it's very real to her. True. It gave me cult vibes, definitely. 100%. I mean, it was even mentioned in the book that they are cult. So, yes. So, the university is known for being experimental in literature, which could be experimental treatments. Oh, okay, okay. Yes, Jess, Eva didn't exist, right? And the girls in the end killing her were the girls or someone pointing that out, making that clear to her. Huh. Yeah, making her realize Eva wasn't real, so she was dead. Uh, the drugs is what make me think of the mental hospital, since you get medication that are basically drugs there. Exactly. But I mean, that's the thing, because I'm sure they do it in cults too. So it's not that far off, like it could definitely be also just the cult thing that they give you drugs to manipulate your head. But then I don't understand how they actually, what happened with the hybrids, the bunnies they created, the bunny boys. Like, how would that work in reality? So was it some kind of magical realism, or yeah, must have been on drugs? My god. And yeah, she really does experience everything as it's real. I love books where the borders of reality are unclear. At the beginning I thought everything was real, and it got more and more blurred. Yeah, it definitely got more and more blurred. I thought because she was taking or they were giving her drugs. And then after a while Ava came to pull her out of it. I don't know. It feels like such a such a brain exercise to try to figure it out what everything meant. But I mean, I totally see it. But I, for example, do not enjoy books like that. where it's on the border between reality and dream, or reality and um, imagination. I do not like those books. The whole thing with workshop not having a clock, I think she also didn't get text in workshop, maybe from the bunnies. I mean, why would she get text in the workshop with when the bunnies were there? Why would they text her? Now I'm confused. Samantha, Mackie, Smacky, Max. I don't know how the name Ava works in there. Smacky, Max, Smacky. Ah, maybe. If it was all a mental institution, I love that this wasn't made 100% clear in the book. It wouldn't have had the same impact as it has now. It would take away from her experiencing it as it was really. Yeah, definitely. So now, like you saying this theory, it definitely makes sense, and it makes it more interesting. And if it was made clear in the end or something that it's just mental institution, it would feel so cheap and I would feel so cheated. But like this, it feels like was very interesting. Um, so I definitely agree with that, 100%. Well, I thought you only had the things with the rabbits and didn't like it. I was like, I'm not sure how she's going to like it when they blow this boy's head. Um, well, honestly, well, when we go to the gruesome parts, the blowing up the boy's head was okay. I mean, it was disgusting, but it was okay. Then when they started blowing up bunnies, I was like, well, that is not cool. But I expected it going in. What got me though was when they were chopping the boys and like putting bunny heads on them, or like this, and the boys with eggs in their shoulder running around the room, and then taking them, then like the girls would take them to the bathroom to like decapitate them. It's like that was brutal. That was way too much for me. So that was what I hated the most about this book, honestly. Not the exploding bunnies. That was like, oh well, what was it gonna be? Like that's what you expect. But I don't know. It was that part that was the most disgusting for me. Also, with the bunnies being so childlike, I think that's dealing with the trauma of Samantha's mother dying when she was younger and learning to process that in therapy. Oh, could be. Yeah, I just felt there were more hints to mental hospital, which I now can't remember anymore. Yeah. Ava means life, doesn't it? So maybe her only being alive while Ava was there, that could explain the name. Maybe, yeah. I thought that she was thinking she was stepping between herself and Ava. Ah, like not bipolar, multiple personality thingy disorder. Even the stories all the bunnies write are specific for each one. Like the one who loves fantasy fairy tale type stories was always writing herself into that reality. Their stories in workshop felt like sharing in group therapy. Huh, okay. I don't think I picked up on that. So that's interesting. Damn, okay, yeah, that works. Love that. Yeah, that's why I don't like that they make it feel like it was mental hospital and therefore not real. If that makes sense, Natalie. I'm not sure. Alex or like Ava was an extension of herself who was there when she needed her, but when she was accepted by the bunny, she didn't need Ava or needed to be Ava. And that would definitely explain why Ava disappeared when she went to the bunnies. Now I kind of want to read it again with this perspective. Interesting. Oh my god, this is gonna mess with my brain so much. Like change of personalities of sorts. Interesting. True, like a multiple personality type thing. Yeah, could be. Yes, I get that, Denise, but they didn't say ever if it was a mental hospital. It could as well have been in school, and she's maybe someone with multiple personalities. Yeah. Yes, exactly that. All the horror and gory stuff could be side effects of experimental drug treatments. Yeah. Uh, well, do you mean like what is it called? What is it called? Not imagination. What is it when you see things? Why can't I remember the word? So there was decapitating. I probably mixed them in my brain. So sorry you didn't want it to read it anymore. Yeah, that was brutal. I was like, if this is not even the worst of it, like I don't want to know what's coming. But that was the worst. So. Also, the fact that everyone called her Samantha except of Ava. I don't know. In my experience, therapist doctors use your full name. Yeah, depends on where you are, but okay, you are in the U.S., so you would know. Um, could be. See, that's so interesting because here, for example, like now I'm used to life here in Sweden, and here everybody call each other by first name. Like it doesn't matter what age or what position you have or anything. Like everybody calls each other by first name here. Um, so to me, that like sometimes it's even like weird when they are like, "Oh, Mister this or Mister that." It's like, oh, so that I wouldn't pick up on. But you're right. Yeah, but it is the same to me. Pretending like a mental health disorder can't be a horror since it's not real. If you have it, I don't know. I'm probably way too protective of my clients, but I don't think that's what they are trying to say. I actually think it's quite the opposite what the book is trying to do. That she was so consumed by this, it was so real for her that's what the whole book is about. There is nothing written about it that it's not, that the okay, this is just her imagination or this is just in her head how she's suffering or something like this actual her reality. So I feel like that's exactly the opposite. Or am I misunderstanding? So Ursula was the group therapist, and the lion, Alan, was a one-on-one type therapist, and she shared too much and was avoiding him. Maybe she overshared, maybe she got too attached to him. Could be. Hallucination, thank you. Exactly that. Like, I go by Jess, but my doctors and my therapist always call me Jessica. Ah, I don't know why. She knows I go by Jess, so it feels deliberate. Oh, is it like trying to connect to your, even though, but like if people use your full name, it just connects to something in you. So maybe they're just trying to connect to something inside of you to be like, okay, let's not be the shallow Jess that everybody calls you. I'm gonna call you Jessica because that's what your parents called you when they were mad at you. Kind of vibe. Is that it? I don't know. Maybe I'm just watching too much TV. Um, but it could be. I never realized because my name doesn't shorten really. So I would not notice anybody like in my adult life. Nobody ever called me anything else than my name. Like there is no shorten of it. Well, there is, but so my sisters call me by my childhood name, of course. But like people I met in my adult life would never. So it's I never realized those things maybe. And no, I know that's just how it felt like presenting it as a horror and then keep hinting that was just not for me. But I would love it that much for it. No? Like if it's exactly hinting like it's a horror book and it's hinting as like this is at a mental health institution, it's just showing how much horror these patients go through. Isn't that exactly what we should be talking about? I'm not understanding, honestly. I feel like that's exactly the good thing, but yeah, I get it that maybe it's not for you, but I don't see the pro. I don't feel like it's in any way like minimizing the, like, just because I don't see it, it doesn't mean the person is not living it. And I feel like this book is exactly like saying that this was the reality of this person. I don't know. I'm thinking of, what was her name? Emma something about books. I remember her talking about her hallucinations and how scary it was because she didn't know what was real. Wait, in the book or in reality? Yeah, but hallucinations are terrifying. For a different interpretation, what if Max and maybe some others was actually real and a psychopath that made an unhinged experiment? Yes. That's what I was thinking. Um, what if Max actually created all of this? But then why would he just give up in the end to the bunnies? What was the point of that? Where he drugged everyone and put them in kind of an alternate universe. Could be. Yeah, there were 100% drugs in this for real, no matter the interpretation. Yes. My mom always called me Jessie when she was mad. Weirdly. Oh, really? I'm super specific with who gets to use that with me. Okay, that makes sense. Exactly, because it connects something or like it does something to you. Um, That is interesting. I didn't have that at all. For me, it felt like it showed a lot how mental illness can affect your life as it is real. The hints didn't take away from me. Yeah, exactly. The same. Exactly. Maybe the boys exploded when they sort of reached a limit in therapy, like how sometimes you can push and go deeper, but sometimes you get to a point that's too far and you might withdraw or shut down. Yeah, could be. Sorry, reality. Emma. Oh, yeah. Emma from the era when everybody just watched Christine and Jesse and Reagan and all those booktube people. I don't know who they are. So I wasn't on booktube then, I guess. I don't know. Okay. If you really want to talk about how the horror can be with mental health disorder, you need to know they have one though. So I'd rather have it clear than to really make that point. Okay. Um, you know that that I don't like, for example. Uh, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I was never diagnosed with anything. Doesn't mean I'm not struggling with my mental health. You know, nobody ever told me, yes, you have this kind of anxiety, or you have this kind of trauma disorder, or you have depression, or like nobody ever told me anything what I have or don't have in my brain. I talked to multiple therapists and nobody ever told me, like, okay, this is what you're having, this is what you're experiencing. And yet I struggle a lot. So you don't need to know that somebody has a mental health disorder to know they're going through shit, for example, and to believe it. That's just what we are kind of trying to not do these days, that anybody can go through shit regardless of what kind of disorder they have or don't have. Or maybe I'm completely misunderstanding what you're trying to say, but that's like I get it. In you're in definitely in a different place. Like you're very close to this, so you have a probably very different point of view on it, or like very how should I say? Like you're much closer to it, and you see it from different angle than I do, who don't work with people with mental health disorder. So I don't want to, say anything about that. So we have very different experiences, but I also want to say that you don't need to know that people are having some kind of mental health disorder to see or understand that they're going through shit, or that they're struggling with anxiety or whatever. um so like when I tell you guys I struggle with anxiety sometimes like crazy, I was never diagnosed with anxiety, actually. I don't know. I'm just thinking I have anxiety. That must be what it is. It could be anything at all, but that's what I'm thinking it is. But nobody ever told me so. So is that now? Am I now making fun of it because I say I have anxiety? Like how does this work? I don't know. For a short minute, I thought it was a sci-fi with mind manipulation. Ooh, interesting. I did not, but that's interesting. I don't know. I'm sensitive about mental health rep, but since it's from Samantha's perspective, if she doesn't acknowledge she's struggling with her mental health, hasn't accepted it, it wouldn't be clear to us. Yeah, yeah, true. I think. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it's not clear to her what reality is, so we don't get to find out what is really going on. Could be, yes, yeah. You don't have to be medically diagnosed with anything for things to resonate. Yes, exactly. Also, I don't know the laws around it, but I don't know if therapists, psychiatrists, etc., have to or even can share a diagnosis with the patient. Um, well, psychiatrists should. Psychiatrists are doctors, medical doctors. So psychiatrists should be able to, because what are they for then? Therapists, I understand. That might not be their, uh, you know, even though they are the ones diagnosing all kinds of things, but maybe they are like some special certified therapists. Maybe it's not like any therapist, but they should. That's their job. Anyway, maybe not every therapist, but there are definitely therapists who are able to diagnose. And who can they share if not with the patient? I don't get it. What's going on? Yeah, but wouldn't that be helpful if you read the horror that has played in your head and then see that this person has mental health? Because, like, this is a serious condition. This is dangerous. No, it would not. I mean, okay. I think I see it from your point of view because it is serious. You see it at your job every day. To me, not everything has to be so serious. It's just a book. That's also why I don't understand how people have so much problem with A Little Life and how irresponsible it is. It's just the book. It's just the book. You read it on your own risk, on your own. Like, it's just the book. It doesn't have any duty to anybody. You can criticize it, absolutely, but it's just the book. But yeah, um, I understand that maybe there is something about it that you wouldn't like, and like if that's the approach, then you wouldn't like it if that's something that you had some bad experience with before, or something like that. Like I get it, that's fine. But to me, no, to me it doesn't feel that way. To me it feels like I don't get mad like on TV. This is very stupid comparison and I'm very sorry about it, but I am vegan and that sometimes is a struggle too, not mental struggle but like social struggle. uh it's my choice. That's like I'm now comparing, like, please don't come at me like, oh, it's completely I know it's completely different. Veganism is not dangerous from like, it happens to me. I choose veganism, so that's not the point. The point is I choose veganism. I do struggle with it sometimes in society, and I see how on TV shows so often they make really horrible jokes about vegans. I might not laugh at it, but I'm like, fair, moving on. Like I'm not gonna be like, this is so offensive to vegans. Like, it's a joke, moving on. So I feel like the media doesn't have responsibility to make everything accurate and to please everyone, is my thing. And it's dangerous. How is it dangerous to write a book about, like, this is, I'm not trying to be argumentative or anything, I'm just like thinking out loud. Is it dangerous to write a book like this about the horror of mental health illness without saying it's mental health illness? If we are not talking about it now, I wouldn't even get it that it's mental health illness book. If Jess didn't bring it up, I would be like, it's just some weird shit that nobody explained to me. You know? I did have some thoughts that it's just maybe just in her head, maybe just she just something is happening, but I would not be able to recognize what it was, or not enough to actually have any proper thoughts or opinions on it. So it would totally miss it for me. Is that dangerous? I don't think so. But yeah, maybe I'm completely misunderstanding what you're saying, but I don't. Maybe I am. I often am. Um, but yeah, I get it. You have very different like angle on it because you are very close to it. So that's it's more personal to you than it would be to me, for example. Um, yeah, I don't know if that was totally, if you get untreat, untreated. Yes. Yes, Jess, I agree. It's not clear to her, so we as readers don't get to experience that either. We only get to know the parts she does understand, like that Ava wasn't real. Oh, yeah. Mm. So if they make it this bad and then don't say, but hint at it and then leaving it like, yeah, could be that, could be a dream, could be a bad drug trips. Be on the, even to me, that is kind of dismissive. Um, I don't feel like that at all. I don't feel like that at all. Interesting. I very much think the author should have put a note at the end, or at the very least, some phone number or websites if you need help. Yeah, maybe that would have been nice. But I actually just listened to it, so I don't know what's in the end. What does the author say? Does the author explain anything? No, just names a bunch of people. To my parents for their love and tireless support. Very special thanks to Jess Riley for being one of this book's earliest champions and most wonderful, unwavering friends and mine. Finally, to Ken Calhoun one more time for everything. Okay, that's it. Yeah, there was nothing more in the end and in the beginning. To access. No. No, nothing. Yes, you need to share the diagnosis with your patient if they are adult. I don't know if therapists, but the psychiatrist, yes. So interesting, Denise, how we feel about it differently. I didn't think it's dismissive at all, quite the opposite, actually. But I can see where you're coming from, just 2 points of view. Yeah, exactly. I agree. I would really appreciate an author's note about it and then making the message clear that mental disorders can be a horror. Yeah, exactly. I don't mind the story being left to the reader's interpretation, but what could have pushed for a trigger warning at the beginning, like how one of the Wayward Children books did it, maybe? And an author's note at the end talking about mental health or whatever uh, we said before, or you said before, yeah. Yeah, it's just I had patient murder people of these kind of hallucinations. That does give it a different dimension, I guess. Yeah, I mean, of course, but I still don't think this was dismissive book at all. I actually think it, quite to the contrary, it brings to the front. It like makes it more alive for people who don't experience it to try to understand how it actually feels. Now, of course, you can say, like, if it's not explained, as I said, if it's not explained what it is, like, I would not understand it. So then there is no harm done because I just didn't understand the book. I don't think it's dismissing mental health just because I didn't understand it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yes, this book could have easily had killing bunnies or whatever in your head, but killing a person in real life while you're hallucinating that they are actually a bunny. Absolutely agree that it doesn't have to please anyone. That's why I said that it wasn't for me, because I don't like it with my background and my look of things. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if that made sense, but I'm glad the book didn't do that. Yes. Because I was worried it might for a minute, like at the end when she sees the dead swan, and I thought, oh no, is it the real person she really killed? Yeah. I did think she actually killed Ava. It's not even about hallucinating about killings, just these kind of delusions where you can't see the real thing that is dangerous. Most of my clients that fantasizes about murder don't do it. Yeah. Yeah, that genuinely is a real life horror to not know what's real and what's in your head. But I've clients killed people with the trash can lids when climbing in an electricity pole, for instance. Okay, shit. Yeah, yeah, horrible. And what your brain is trying to protect you from confronting sometimes, yes. I hope I'm not offending you at all, Denise. I'm just enjoying discussing. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we just have different point of view. Yeah, that person just had a psychosis after drugs. It was just on time and just bad luck of opening up your psychosis after one time's drug use. Oh. I think it's also my experience with writing, so I'm thinking about how freeing it can be to work through your real life issues through fiction, and workshop made me think of that catharsis. Okay. Do you write a lot? I don't think I ever heard you talk about writing, as in like you would be writing. But are you? Or like a journaling kind of thing, maybe? I'm just curious, but. And how terrifying it is to share your writing in a group of your peers because it feels like sharing your soul and offering it up for judgment. Yes, definitely. No, I'm not offended by the book or any of you. I just tried to explain why it was not for me and why I didn't like the hints. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Okay, just checking in. I know I can be insensitive sometimes when I get into analysis mode, and I can be ignorant sometimes very much. I don't mean harm. But I'm glad I was not the only one who was thinking about mental health disorder being treated. Yeah. Don't worry, Jess. I'll let you know if it ever happens. I think the first time a bunny explodes, the reader is definitely supposed to seriously question what is real. I think it's the when the head explodes, the when the boy explodes, because the boy explodes before the bunnies. No, I think the boy explodes first. Is there an exploding bunny before the boy? Before Rob was his name? I thought he exploded first, and then they went into workshop where the bunnies exploded. I think that was later. Sorry. Here. I don't write as much anymore, but I was very much into that world for a long time. Had a few people whose opinions I valued basically tell me my writing was shit, so it's not something I share. Oh no. What? That sucks. But yeah, if you can still write for yourself, then it's still okay. I mean, share much with people. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think it was meant to read as a fever dream, and it did. Yeah, it did. Um, and I hate it. I don't like fever dream books. That's why I was also now like so terrified to discuss it. Good thing I didn't finish it today, because if I finished it today and then discuss it for like 1.5 hours, I would go into anxiety attack, like I did when we discussed the migrations. That one I loved, 5 stars, but it was also kind of like fever dream kind of book, and that gave me massive anxiety attacks. I was now worried about Bunny as well, but now so far we are okay. Even though I was fine as well when discussing migrations. But I finished this 2 days ago. I am having calming tea, and I don't have a plan for what to do afterwards, but we'll see. But yeah, I don't like those books. Also, don't like fever dream books. No, no. For me, I just need some form of creative expression in my life. Doesn't always have to be writing fiction, but it's probably why I enjoy the book club chats and buddy reads that really dig in. Yeah, it could be definitely. That's where your writing author fiction juices flow and like trying to analyze it. That sounds great. Maybe you should start a book club and like analyze books and pick like the most interesting books to analyze and books like this. Dig into literature instead of like, oh, this character was great type discussions. Yeah, yeah. I'm weird. I love fever dream books, at least some of them. They make me think, and I love that more than if everything is always clear. Yeah, same. Like I, yeah. I don't know what I don't like about them. Like I know what I don't like about them. It's not that they make like I love books that make me think. I love great characters. Like if it's character based book like that, that's my jam. What I hate about fever dream books is that it makes me feel like I'm on drugs, and that, as I mentioned, is my trigger. I hate it. I'm just thinking about it is making my heart stop. um I cannot deal. And I don't know. I was just today watching some podcast, and they were like it was kind of like not therapy podcast, but they were talking about a lot of like heavy stuff from the past that happened to this person. And this guy is asking like, "Have you tried psychedelics?" And it's like, "No, I'm terrified of them." I'm like, "Me too." And like it's so freeing, like yeah. And then he was talking about how much it helped him and how it like tends to help people. I'm like, well, that's great, but I was like, oh my god, I'm so terrified. Like I don't know if there is anything else I'm more terrified of than psychedelics or any kind of drugs like that. And then fever dream books make me feel like I'm on drugs, and it's the most terrifying thing ever. And yeah, like it can be a brilliant book. And as I said, migrations I absolutely loved and adored, but it still made me feel like I was on drugs, which I hated. And that's why I got the anxiety attack later, like after the live show. So, um, that's my personal thing. Like it's not that. Yeah, it is. I hate fever dream books, not because they are, as I said, I already said it 3 times. I keep repeating myself, but yeah, that's my jam. So like, there's also what I said with this book. Like I loved it until we got into the drug part, and that's where it flew out the window. Not the book. That's gonna be now after the live show. No, just kidding. But yeah, I also like when the whole story is a big metaphor, and I like open ending because they make me think and theorize and interpret. Yeah. On the other hand, I feel like I'm not very good at picking on clues and hints. So for me, open endings are just like I need to know. Am I supposed to now reread the last 50 pages to know what you're trying, what I'm supposed to think? I don't know. It feels like work. One of my college courses was about analyzing different pieces through the lens of I forget how many schools of thought. So like feminist interpretation, Marxist, etc. Oh wow, that's interesting. Just I immediately wanted to recommend you a book, but I just saw that it doesn't have an English translation. So sad. I think you'd love that one as well. They felt very similar to me. Okay, interesting. I don't mind thinking about the book. I love it. I just rather have some sort of confirmation if my thought are at least making some sense. Yes. And I had a professor who called it meta texting. I don't know if it's an actual thing, where basically you have a conversation with the text, writing to it, asking questions, theorizing. That sounds so cool. Such a cool exercise. Everything was meant to be stream of consciousness and organic conversation with the text. Oh wow. That's so fascinating, honestly. Amazing. I would struggle with that because I'm just like, what am I supposed to, how am I supposed to know what the author was thinking? I have no idea how, like when we were in school and we were analyzing these works and what was the author trying to say here? I'm like, how am I supposed to know? I'm not the author. I didn't live in that time. How am I supposed to? I hated it. I hated it. Um, it could be some kind of thing that just like I could, yeah, I still can't guess what people think. Um, I'm really bad at that. I cannot figure out what people think, what is on their mind. Um, I'm really bad at reading people. That's still a thing. I don't know why. So anyway, this is why these artsy things always resonated with me. Totally understandable. I love theorizing, but then I want to know if I'm right. Like the guessing is a skill to me. Yes, true, true. So that's why I don't like it, and that's why these book clubs or these discussions are so great because you guys just tell me what it is. The metatext prof had us do it at least weekly, 8 to 12 pages, and at first it felt like a big ask, but when you get the hang of it, it's like a big journal entry, just talking to the text. Wow. That sounds so cool. That sounds really cool. I love that. I love that. But, yeah, is there anything more we should discuss? How did we feel about the ending? She went away with this Jonah friend somewhere, or something happened there. I don't know what is it supposed to mean. Anybody knows? Now I'm sad there isn't a translation. Natalie, please everyone recommend all the weird books to me all the time. Okay, all the fever dream books your way. I'll keep that in mind. I didn't mind guessing what someone meant when I was younger, but since mental health school kicked the whole never assume anything in my head, now I don't like it anymore because I have to assume for it. Yeah, that's the thing. You're not supposed to assume what other people think. And how are you supposed to know anyway? How are you supposed to know what you're thinking? How can anybody know? I don't know. I think I would have loved that too, meta reading, writing. Also, just wanted to throw it out there. What does everyone make of Jonah? Yes, Jonah. Maybe I need to get more into literary fiction. Maybe. Yes, there is lots of weird shit in literary fiction. I actually believe that Jonah is the one, maybe only real and sane person in all of this. Yeah, he did feel real. Yeah, I think I agree with that. I do feel like he was the only one who felt real. Um, I honestly don't know what to make of him. I'm shocked. I thought you would tell us everything. Disappointed, really, is the word, Jess. Disappointed. um, yeah, I don't know. Yes, there's a sequel. Oh no. This is what Goodreads says. We Love You, Bunny is both a prequel and a sequel and an unabashedly wild and totally complete standalone novel. What? I already don't want to read that. Here's some moments uh, of honesty about his past and how he still struggles, and that all felt honest and real. Yeah, yeah, I did. Um, and he also showed up when she needed him the most, you could say, or when she was just like on the border between the real and the crazy. It felt like he was there to like be there when she needs to. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. That didn't make sense, did it? But it did, I think. It's about Samantha, who now has published a book, and the bunnies come back to her because they don't like how they were portrayed or something. Oh, really? That's weird. Huh. So now I think the book she published was Bunny. So it'll be a book in a book. Maybe. Yeah. What? Okay, that would be cool. But to be fair, if he would be a real person she made friends with in hospital, I would love that. Those friendships make people so strong most of the time. So that I would love. Yeah, could be. Yes. Yeah, when Samantha is wandering and flailing, he's just there. Not pushing or probing, just asking what she needs and helping. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. That was really nice. Yeah, I don't know what to make of the sequel. Will anybody want to read the sequel? I guess Denny's no. I guess Natalie and Jess yes. Alex, I don't know. Larissa hasn't said anything the entire time. Um, I That's gonna be a no for me, unfortunately. But I would gladly discuss it with you guys when you're done, and so then you can tell me everything that happened. I would. Okay, okay, okay. I won't. Sorry. I'm not asking to see like if we should do that. I'm just asking to see if you can tell me what happened. Like maybe he isn't in her cohort because he's further along in his treatment, self exploration, recovery. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, yeah, could be. Sorry, was eating my pizza. I might want to read. No worries. I didn't mean to call you out. I just saw that you messaged in the beginning that you were here. So I was just like, you haven't been messaging much, but it's fine. It's fine. You don't have to chat. It's fine just to hang out. Um, like, please don't do it if fever dream is a trigger for you. Yeah, no, I won't. 1,000,000% reading the next book. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Love it. Love it. Okay, so basically we have Alex. What about you? Would you read it? Because so far we have, if you would say no, it's exactly 50-50. I mean, Denise, I don't know. You didn't say if you would read it or not, but I would guess no. Um, I always wonder if I'm overwhelming in these kinds of chats. Like, I have so much to say and it makes other people less likely to share. I don't think so. I think it's really great because if you wouldn't be sharing so much, we would probably have not much to talk about and would be a lot poorer for it because your opinions are always so like intriguing and always so much thought that like thought provoking. I love it. So no, you're not oversharing or overwhelming anything. Don't worry. It'll come out in September. Okay. Okay. You won't read it. No. So it's 50-50. You were right. I won't. So you're at 50-50. Wow. Nice. 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 According to Goodreads, I gave it 3 stars. I don't know why, because I didn't understand a lot. Oh gosh, yeah. You're not overwhelming, just no, you're not at all. I just love discussing books. Yeah, that's why we're here. Love it. And my favorite part of teaching was when people came up with stuff I didn't think of on my own. Nice. So you must think that, well, I feel like I don't come up with thoughts of my own. So you must think I'm dumb. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any thoughts of my own. I'm always just like, I agree with you, and I agree with you. I agree with everyone. Ugh, but I don't actually. in real life. But I love reading your thoughts. Just don't hold back. The same, 100%. If I ever am and you want to talk to me about it, not in public, please message me to call me out. I need it sometimes. No, please, no. It's just wild sometimes because if we were all face to face, I would have almost nothing to say out loud. Always a journaling human, not a participating human. Yeah, I would also be very quiet. So it's also weird. Like, why am I leading a book club? Like, if I'm in a group of people, I will not be saying things. Mm. So yeah, I'm like that too. So this is really all like this book community is so bizarre. I don't know, like to me, I just see some pictures on Instagram, and it just makes me feel like home whenever I see these bookish pictures. And just now, I just want to cry. I don't know why am I so emotional, but it's just something else, and it's also nice to be able to discuss with you guys, even though sometimes I have no opinions. Like obviously now I'm completely dumb about the book. I'm like, I don't understand anything, and then you come with this theory, and I'm like, that actually makes great sense. I didn't pick up on that at all. Or I mean, I did have a thought, but not I did not explore it enough to actually justify the opinion. I was just like, nah, doesn't make sense. So I'm dumb, but it's fine. Apparently, it's fine. You're still here. If we would all be live, I would probably not say a thing. This is so weird. Yeah, I could never do stuff like this, Barbara. Yeah, you could. You could. It takes a little bit in the beginning to like. You think the first time I was so scared the first time I was hosting a book club. I think it was only the two of us there. You saved my life. Like I was so terrified. It was crazy because like there's not gonna be anyone. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to talk. Like it's crazy. And of course, if nobody would show here, I don't know what I would be talking about. I'd probably just go through Copal and be done in 15 minutes. Like I wouldn't be able to lead the discussion on my own. We're still here discussing 1 hour, 10 minutes later, just because you guys are chatting and because you are sharing your opinions. So I basically have no do in this. No do. That's a new phrase. Write it down. That I have no do in this. Yeah, you see, I can't even talk. Weird how that works. Yes. If I ever have a feeling people will hold back and anyone in these kinds of things on YouTube and Discord, and you're in our community, I'll message you a DM. So yeah, don't worry about it. If you don't hear me, I don't have a problem. I'll probably be the one in real life starting the conversation and then asking everyone their opinion because I'm so curious about them. Yeah, I would probably ask, so what did you think? And then Natalie would say, yeah, I liked it. And I'll be like, okay, Jess, what did you think? And then Jess would be like, yeah, it was okay. And that would be the discussion. I never know how people are reacting to me in real time. And I go off on tangents and lose people and don't realize it right away and come back and everyone is just staring at me. Yeah, then that's their problem, honestly. Um, you know, I'm gonna tell you that just the fact that you're aware of it, that you go on tangents and then you figure out that people actually are not listening to you or are just like, huh? Just because you're aware of it means that you're doing okay. But because I know this because my mom goes on tangents all the time like things that are not important. She is gonna tell me about how she forgot to buy potatoes, but will tell me in the process about the neighbor she met on the way, and the neighbor was somewhere half a year ago, and talked about the daughter who 2 years ago, and like, okay. Or the other way around. When I went to the store the other day, I wanted to, yeah, like, oh, I met my former colleague when I went to store, and I went to buy potatoes because I forgot to buy potatoes. I wanted to do this recipe. I'm like, oh my god. And she would go all over like how she like completely unimportant things to get to the important part like 10 minutes later, and she wouldn't even realize. And then I would tell her like, okay, well, this was a journey, and she's like, yeah, she would not get it that that was a completely unimportant tangent. And now I'm not saying that your tangents are not important, but like she's not aware of it and she doesn't give a crap. So if you are aware of it, now doesn't mean that you should stop going on tangents. It's just maybe you can read the group better, maybe, of if they want to hear your tangents or not, because I bet there are people who want to hear your tangents. That's all I wanted to say, really. And then I run away from the live Discord sprints and make you all feel bad. No, 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 no. Don't you worry. It will be fine, Jess. I have a lot to say about books, not much else. I'm sure my mom appreciates all of my bookish friends because she doesn't have to listen to my spoiler rambles about whatever thing I'm reading. Yeah, yeah, I bet she does. Do you really think if we all meet in person, we're gonna talk about everything else than books and food? We're not gonna talk about books at all. Thank you, Denise. My therapist is also a person who calls me on my bullshit in real life, and I love her for it. Oh, that's good. That is good. Oh well. If it's not a book she doesn't want to read, it ain't that bad. No, exactly. If you ruin all the books for her, well, that would be worse. Books make her fall asleep. If she reads, though, it's mystery thriller type things. Most of my weird sci fi and horror books are not her jam. Okay. So you can spoil each other and it works. Also, tangents can mean passion, and then I don't care what it is about. I just love people talking passionately about it. Yeah, I get it. But yes, but sometimes it can be too much. Like, for example, with my mom, it just sometimes that's a whole another story though. But she'll go on tangents about things that she forgot to buy, and why she forgot to buy them, and on all kind, like she'll talk about things that you would even tell your best friend if you talk to them every day. She'll go on tangents about that. But when she asks me how my job is, I'll say like, yeah, it's busy. Yeah, okay, okay, good, and move on to the next thing. So you know that's when it kind of gets too much with the tangents. Like, just okay, I want to know about you, but just tell me the gist, because I don't have energy to listen to 15 minutes of forgetting potatoes. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. She listens to me because she loves me and she loves that I'm talking about things I love. She 100% does not care about the plots of my books. That's good. Yes, our moms are different. Yeah, yeah. But it sounds like she has tangents without being passionate like my mom. Yeah. No, no passion in it. No, no, it's not like that at all. No. No, not at all. She just likes to talk about herself. That's what it is. I also read 2001: A Space Odyssey, and it was fudging weird. Then Mark and I watched the movie, and my mom had seen it when it came out. And the three of us had a discussion like this of what the fuck happened. Nice. Very nice. I usually use another word for what you describe and I recognize, and it ain't tangent. No, I know. Message me. I'd like to know. I know what it is. Or like, I know the thing she is, or I think I know what it is, but I would like to know, actually. Message. please. On maybe, I don't know if you want here, maybe that's fine, or on DM on Discord. But yeah, I know. And I mean, I wouldn't describe it as a tangent because it is technically a tangent, but yeah, it is a very specific thing. Yes. Should we go through compile, or we don't feel it necessary? Should we just jump into what everybody rated the book? Or how are we feeling? I know I'm very lucky to have lovely, supportive parents. Whenever I say weird shit, I tell them, this is your own fault for raising me to be comfortable with who I am. Yes, definitely. Um, yeah, not everybody had supportive parents. So this is amazing, and I love it for you. I love it for you. Um, yeah, I do. I also go on tangents actually, and when I do, like with Henrik, for example, because Henrik likes to listen to me for some reason, and but I do go on tangents as well. And then I'm like, now I'm like my mom. So then I apologize, and he's like, no, no, I like to listen to you. I'm like, okay, we're still young. That will leave at some point. I'm glad you say that now, but yeah, I'm just like, um, it's a thing, but it's fine. Yeah, if you have supportive people around you, then you do talk, then you go on tangents. Yeah, but it needs to be special people, I think. I think you do, but I'll send a Discord confirmation. Yes, thank you. That's why I love seeing you. You too, Henrik is for you, but Mark is for me. Yeah, yeah, he's great. Yeah. Speaking of, he messaged me about something. Yeah, because he's been injured, so he has like shorter practice. That's also why he was home yesterday and sprinting with us. He skips practice because he's injured. So yeah. Anyway, everything all good, all good. But thank you, Jess. I appreciate you saying that. Um, so maybe we skip compile. I don't think it's necessary. So let's just share what we're gonna rate the book. I did wait with coming up with rating for, like, with my rating of the book, because I was like, maybe we'll do the compile. If I'm not doing the compile, I need to think. Maybe I have two ratings, like one before the live show and one now, because I think it changed a bit. Like my impression of the book changed a bit during the discussion. Um, I don't know. What is everybody thinking? Anybody got any ideas, or do you need to sit on it a bit more to find out what the rating eventually will be? Um, did the comments break? I don't see any comments. Or is everybody thinking what rating you should give? Ah, now something popped up. I rated it 1 star on 22nd of September 2022. Okay. 1 star. That's rough. This would definitely be fun to reread or annotate or something. Yes, you can do it. You can reread if you want. I'm not sure yet. I was gonna rate it 4 stars. Now after the live, I might rate it 4.5, or maybe depending on how much I keep thinking about it. Okay. Nice. Natalie, did you think before the live show as well of that it was maybe like mental health institution, and it was just all like horrors in her head, and it was not like real world, real for her, but not real? Or did you have this theory? Um, 3 stars in 2023. All right, all right. 3 out of 5 for you. Okay. So pretty good ratings, everyone, except of Denise, of course. Yeah, this was one of those I should have DNF'd it and kept going. People told me it was good. Those all got 1 star. Yeah. Yeah. And G loved it as well. So I'm like, well, why? Why? I wasn't sure where in the 4 star range I would fall, but I can't stop thinking about it and analyzing it. So 4.5 feels right. Nice. Yeah, that's fair. If Jess does not bring the salt, someone has. Yes. Oh my god, yes. Thank you, Denise. Um, that's such wild advice. I would have told you to bail if you don't like it because it sets the tone fairly early on. Yeah, it does. That's what I told Judith. Like, if you don't like it, by she was she on like chapter 5, and she was not sure about it. I'm like, if you're not sure about it, it's chapter 5. It doesn't change. Just DNF. That's what she did. So yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. No, not a mental health institution, but I did think about her imagining a lot or all of it and her having mental illness. Yeah. Okay. So true. I love the salt. Yes. Yes. What will I rate it though? I do not know. I think before the live show it would be a 2 because I feel like the first, like part 1 was very strong. The part 1 I loved even though I hated it, but I loved it. But from that it felt like it just went downhill, and it kind of, yeah, as I said, it kind of like it started going, and chapter 14 is like, yes, this is a horror story, this is brutal, and I'm in here to see it happen. But then after that they took the foot out of the gas pedal, and it just started to float into something, and I was just like, what's happening? What are we talking about? Are we aiming towards something? And then nothing happens at the end, and then there is a happy ending. I'm like, no, no, not what I signed up for. Even though I was glad I didn't have to pause more times after chapter 14, but still I needed more. So before the live show it would have been 2 stars. Now I'm thinking like 2.75. 3. 2.8. I don't know. Yeah, and then she went on to a book she's loving so far. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was such a great choice of her to do that. The writing style is pretty distinct too, so if it doesn't work for you in the first few chapters, I don't know why anyone would think that would change. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, yay, Judith. I missed a lot of those Discord comments lately. Always so satisfying to DNF and then immediately find something you click with right after. Yeah, exactly. That's what happened for her. I don't know what I was thinking, Jess. I just was waiting for it to be good. I had this in the beginning when I was watching BookTube. Many mistakes were made. Yeah, I mean, it does take a few bad books to finally be. You know what? I don't have time for this. There are so many other books I want to read that I don't need to read books I don't enjoy. I think on Goodreads I'm gonna rate it 4, not gonna round up to 5, mostly because at the beginning there were some grossly sexual moments that made me hate it. Almost DNF there. Ooh, okay, interesting. I actually didn't think it was that sexual. So what? Which ones? Now I wanna know because I didn't think there were that many. They were talking about some things, but there was no actually like scenes of anything. Were there? I didn't think so. What did I miss? But I get that. All right, that seems fair, Natalie. Yes. I think my favorite people to watch are those who I feel like I understand their taste. So if they love a thing because of XYZ, I know I'll hate it for the same reasons. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Oh, yes, okay, the sexual stuff I think is metaphor. And I hated those parts too. Yeah, I think I missed it. But I just happened to be reading another book where sexual things are symbolic for other stuff. Ah, okay. Huh. So I was already sort of in that mindset. Good. So it was not another pod situation for you. That was something. But yeah, it was right before the first guys had exploded, when all of them had guys and her ex came and touched her and you. Okay, that thing. Yes. That, yeah. I didn't think. All right. I didn't think that was sexual. I just thought it was disgusting. I, I just thought it was disgusting. But I mean, I understand why you would think it was sexual, or why it was. But I didn't think it was necessary. Like, obviously it was, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, I would not describe it as a sexual scene, but I understand why people would say that. Huh. Am I weird? I mean, it was disgusting, but I'm not saying it wasn't. It's just slight tangent. Does anyone else feel like so many more books talk about masturbation now? I like it being normalized, but also it makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, yeah. I feel the same way. Like, I think it's good that it's being like talked about more, but at the same time, I don't want to talk about it. you know for me, it's like the same as sex. I don't want to talk about it. What you're doing on your own or with your partner, leave it at home, or leave it behind the closed doors. Nobody else needs to know. That's my opinion of it. So yeah, it does make me uncomfortable. Even though, to be fair, it's not the same. Like, I'm just thinking about reading, like a romance book or like spicy book. I don't have problem reading scenes like sexual scenes with like two partners, but I would cringe very hard if it was like a masturbation scene. That's true. Interesting. That was quite some tangent, but yes, great that I'm talking about it on YouTube. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Jess. I have not seen it often yet, but I feel like that is going to happen now. Yeah, you're gonna start seeing it now. To me, it was sexually disgusting, and one of the girls always wanted a guy to, and yes, that's too, Jess. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, she wanted to do things to the bunnies. Yeah. I actually read a really interesting review on Storygraph that talked about a lot of the symbolism and metaphors. I forget half of what they said, but I think I liked a lot of it. Nice. That's good. Sorry, everyone. Maybe I'll have to take the video down. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want anybody to see me talking about it ever again online. No, it's fine. Um yeah, okay. So, should we go into a sprint? No, no sprint today. But I was thinking about it, but I think I need to unplug and calm down, because I think this book is on my brain and I need to get it off of my brain. It's not healthy for me. Look at us all being extremely mad. But sex can be about power, intimacy, expression, etc. So, what's your point? I still don't want to talk about it. I still think it's your private thing. What's the thing that's like a cigar isn't just a cigar? Well, I don't understand that. If I can find the review figure, figure out how to link it, I'll share on Discord. Okay, yes, please do. Or screenshot. Um, yes, do that, just please. Yes, do that. Okay. Are we good for now, or is there any last thoughts anybody wants to share? Or are we good? Are we satisfied? And we can wrap it up. What do we think? I don't know. I'm not good with psychology. Freud. I don't know. I'm not good with psychology, but I think it's fascinating. Okay. Cigar, but it's in a cigar. All right. Yeah, I'm not into those discussions. Um, I'm a prude. So there you go. If you ever seen one, it's me. So uh, that's what you get. I'm good with leaving this book behind me. Yeah. Yes. Me too. And I don't think I'll read anything else by Mona Awad. Not because I did not enjoy the writing or anything. I think it was very well written, for the most part. There were, of course, things I did not like. Well, the biggest problem, of course, for me was that it just went downhill from chapter 14. It did not lean into the madness, but maybe it wasn't supposed to. Maybe that's okay. But yeah, I don't think I'll be reading anything else by the author because I'm just not into fever dream books, and I expect that's what it would be. Um, well, Yup is very much a prude, so that would be a very interesting competition. No, I don't need to compete about that. We can just be co-prudes. We can share. I'm sure he would agree. Ooh, there was one point of the book I loved the most of all of it. Wait, I want to share this before we wrap it up. Yes, please. I'll wait. I will wait. Yeah, like I kind of hate those Hallmark movies my mom loves, but I appreciate the single chaste kiss at the very end of the movie. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, but sometimes those Hallmark movies, like, exactly what I need. Like, exactly the kind of like cozy, just chilling, nice. Love it. But yeah, it's not like high quality. I don't know what's with my hair, honestly. What is this? Like, or the other way around, really. There we go. While I'm waiting for Natalie to share her opinion. There we go. Entertaining. Sorry about that. That was weird. I like the mini food plays. Reminded me of my friend who used to make mini cupcakes after hockey games and who moved years ago. Oh, that's so cute. But yeah, yeah. Maybe your hair is secretly being your wild side. Maybe. Could be. Goes all the directions. Yes. Wild side. I do have a wild side, or did, when I was in my 20s. Then I just got too tired and scared of alcohol. Mostly. Just remember the lady shaped lamps in Ava's apartment, and I thought of the leg lamp in A Christmas Story. Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, yes. Yes. Right at the beginning of part two, the pronouns switch. Samantha became the we, and all the bunnies became one bunny. This was so well written, like how she became the group. Yes, I loved that so much. And then when she met Ava, and then slowly, very slowly, you could see the transition back to I. I love that. That was so good. That's why her hair is so big. It's full of secrets. Oh gosh. She was the group, and the group was one. That was so fascinating. I love when writers do that amazingly done. Yeah, that was so good. Yeah. I also yeah, thank you for saying that, because I was also thinking about that, how like I love that part so much too, how that was done. Yes, agreed, so well written. Yes, then she came out of that with Ava, favorite part of the book. Yeah, that was really good. I agree. um I don't think there was anything more. I mean, of course we could probably come up with more things all the time. Also kind of ironic that Ava pulls her out of the we if Ava is a part of herself. Well, actually, isn't that the whole point? At the end of the day, it's you yourself who has to save you. Nobody else can save you unless you want to save you. Um, so that's kind of the whole thing. But yeah, it's yeah. But yeah, it was very interesting book. I think I don't know what I'll rate it. On Storygraph, I would give it 2.5. On Goodreads, I feel like 3 is cheating. I can't give her 3 with peace on my heart. True, only she herself can do that. Glad I remembered that to end this life with. Yes, thank you. Maybe pulling away from others and back into herself, like from other people's lives back into her own. Yeah, symbolic. Yes, maybe like Ava dying because she let go. Yeah, exactly. And she didn't need her anymore. I think I liked Pod more after we discussed it. Yeah, I mean, I did like Pod overall, I think. But yeah, I also think I like Bunny now more after we discussed it. But I'm not sure it's enough to give it 3 stars, actually. Yes, Denise. Yes, exactly. Very nice. Look at us figuring out the book. Or, well, Jez really did it for us. We just, or I feel like a little minion on the side, like, yay! Me too, me too. Thank you, Jez, for explaining the book. Hell, even I like Bunny more after this life. Will you change your rating to 2 stars? Will you? I like to sit with a rating for a while if it isn't immediately obvious. Yeah, I might do that. So I will wait maybe, because I don't know. 2 feels a bit too brutal, and 3 feels a bit too much. So I need to sit with it maybe. You're right. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me that. Uh, it's just not reflective of my reading experience if I gave it a 2. No, that's true. That is true. So I'll leave it at 1 then. But yes, okay, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and discussing and explaining the book. I think it helped immensely. Um, Next book we are going to be discussing is Camp Zero. I have it over there. I didn't pick it up. Camp Zero, which is for the book club. The live show will be sometimes beginning of May. Um, and yeah, we'll vote on that later. Uh, I'm really curious about that one. There is audiobook for it on Everend, at least it is for me. And I know, was it Judith who found it as well? So that's available. That's great. And yeah, I could be entirely wrong though. But I think the fact that it's left so open is what kind of giving permission to the reader to interpret it however we each want or feel. Yeah. Yes. I still hated the book 3 years later, so I think the one is reflecting that. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for hosting this. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you did. Maybe you do need the copile, if only to give enjoyment 1. Yeah, maybe. But it's not true. Like, I wouldn't give enjoyment 1. Like the first, okay, how long is part one? Part one is 120 pages. So that's like third of the book. Even though I was disgusted and I was like, I'm hating it, at the same time, I loved it. So the enjoyment wouldn't be a one, you know? Like it would probably not be like eight either, but it would not be one. There should be like a hate thing on Copile. It should be Cofile, H for hate. That will be clear. I think for once I'm not gonna be late with Chem Zero since it's on my magical reader on TBR and I have the audio too. Yes, the same. Oh my god, look at us. Why does Chem Zero sounds like a horror? Uh, it does, doesn't it? But I don't think it is. I think it's a sci-fi, but maybe it will turn into like a thriller. I don't know, but it's probably not a horror. I just remembered I shared a limerick about Dennis during Chem Enchanted once, so I have shared my writing. Oh, you have? I totally forgot that. Maybe I'll have to go dig into it, or maybe you didn't share it publicly. Maybe only with Denise, and Denise read it in like live show or something. Um, because of Zero, I think Patient Zero, Ground Zero. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like Camp Zero, it definitely feels like Patient Zero. Uh, so it's some kind of sci-fi. It's gonna be probably some kind of thriller at the end of the day. I think maybe not horror, but thriller probably. But yep, yep. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today, for discussing with me. It helped so much. I'm glad you had a good time, most of you. Even loved it, some of you. And she definitely read it out loud at the end, and it was lovely. Yeah, in one of the sprints, yeah. Camp Zero, an electrifying page turner where nothing is as it seems. We're already used to that now. Yes, we know what to expect. Especially when Judith picked it up, Ghost that give it's a change. Ghost that gives it change. And now I heard the same title, and I was like, yeah, probably not. Yes, and I liked it so much. Just, I think I have a big notebook page full of them, but only shared one. Oh, really? That is so cool. Well, that does sound like something I enjoy, Natalie. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed that book. But we'll definitely keep in touch in Discord as always. I will sprint on Saturday, even though probably not all day because we're going to Hendrik's parents in the afternoon. So we'll be only morning, or maybe we'll move it to Sunday, or we'll see. We should go shopping at some point, so probably Saturday morning sprints. But I'll let you know. So we'll definitely keep in touch on Discord, and we'll see you in sprint soon. So have fun with your Aurelium. Thank you so much for hanging out and discussing Bunny. Um, it was a journey and it was a great live show, I feel like. So thank you so much and hope you have a great rest of the evening. Could talk about this book forever. If anyone has more thoughts after this message or tag me on Discord, definitely will do. Yes, see you later. Thank you. Have a nice rest of the day or good night. Bye.